Okay, today we want to talk about a word that you may have seen on a recent video. I'm going to have you grab your pen and paper again because this is a very key word that can apply to all the strategies we've been talking about today. And then I'm going to talk about applying it to another strategy in this series on goals. So here we go. And this is the word cultivate. So write that word down, cultivate, because a lot of what we're going to be doing in this new year is really cultivating new strategies and habits. And today we're going to talk about cultivating a new way of seeing, okay? Or really cultivating an ability, the ability to see and act beyond what you see. Okay, you may have heard me talk about this recently. Today, we're going to apply it in this series now. You remember a few days ago, we talked about goals start with the what and the when, which is the targets that are particularly for your conscious mind. And then you may have strategies, actual actions like putting it on the calendar, getting the gain task done early while your energy is high, the do it now strategy to really move forward. Okay, those are concrete strategies. Now we're going to talk about moving into some of that subconscious and internal area as well. Okay, that really becomes the engine to fuel your goals and your goal achievements. So one of them is cultivating the ability to see beyond what you see right now. In other words, we want to have a picture in our mind. And here's something a wonderful mentor, Jerry Clark, shared in an interview that I heard him on recently was that, your conscious mind thinks in terms of that what and that when, those specific achievements, those time frames, working toward that, okay? But your subconscious mind is working in pictures outside of time. And the more vivid the picture you can give your subconscious mind, the more it can start to work with you and become an energy behind the scenes to move you into fulfilling it. I love Lisa Nicole Nichols. I was listening to her recently and she shared the idea of keeping yourself in a constant state of cognitive dissonance, meaning have a picture in your mind of how you want your life, your business, your team to be that's beyond where you are now, where it creates a dissonance between what you're actually seeing and feeling, what's actually happening right now versus the picture in your mind. And when there's a difference there, a cognitive dissonance there, that picture in your mind is going to pull you forward until what's actually physically manifested around you matches that, okay? Now, the opposite can happen too. The reason why a lot of people trying to lose weight or trying to choose things, change relationships or have a healthier relationship and so on, keep ending up in the back, same thing is because the picture in their mind and what they keep telling themselves and picturing for themselves is still that old pattern. So even though they might step beyond it for a while, it keeps pulling them back to that old place. All right. So what we want to do is cultivate the ability to put pictures in our mind that become so real and clear of what we want our life to look like, how we want our physique to look like, our relationships to look like, our business, our team, our income, our flexibility and freedom, our enthusiasm for life. How do we want that to look and how does it feel? We talked a while about how that feels. And here's the other thing. If we only look at right here, it can influence our actions. Okay, many of you may have a business or something where there might be certain targets at the end of a 90-day period or a 6-month period, or maybe at the end of a calendar month or even a week. And if you look as you're getting closer and start realizing, wow, I don't see how I'm going to get there. I don't have enough clients, enough appointments, or this big deal I was hoping on, or this big partner I was hoping on, partnering with, fell through. They changed their mind, or they're not showing up or answering their phone calls now. So now what I do? And what can happen if we only look at the way things look on paper right now, okay, we can actually give up, or we may not take the action that would have kept us going. And how many of you have experienced, I've heard story after story and experienced that myself, when there was an initial disappointment, something didn't seem to work out the way we thought it would, we didn't see how we're going to get from point A to point B, but we kept going, we kept asking questions, we kept asking what else is possible, and all of a sudden something we didn't know was about to happen, someone else who was about to call us back, some person we were about to meet, opens up a door, a possibility, something that shows up in the mail, okay? Something, or because we kept going, we kept opening doors, we do open a door with someone else. It wasn't the person we thought it was going to be, but it's someone else that ends up becoming the puzzle piece that fits that picture that we've been picturing, okay? But we have to cultivate that ability to see beyond what's right in front of us right now. Otherwise, we won't keep going. And otherwise, we don't have that cognitive dissonance that's pulling us into a bigger sphere, a bigger place of how we want our life and our business to be. Okay. And when you do that and you keep going, you find that people, ideas, resources, even cash flow, or funds, okay, and For some of you, maybe a business vehicle or a new possibility that you didn't even know existed, okay, shows up for you. You know, one of my business partners who I reached out to out of the blue, didn't even know her, in another state, but because some of my partners were going to be there, reached out to her a number of years ago. The very night before, she was sitting late at night in her real estate office. I shared this story recently, you know, asking herself, why, you know, why am I not home with family, you know, at 9 o'clock at night? How many years have I been doing this? And, you know, I don't want to keep living my life like this. So something's got to change. Well, she didn't know what was right around the corner, the phone call the next day, the people she was going to meet in the next couple of days that would open up new relationships for her and her husband, for us, and a partnership and a business vehicle. You know, she couldn't see that right then, but she knew something needed to change, and she asked. So how many of us can keep taking steps, learning to see beyond what we see, and kind of have that eager anticipation of what's going to show up today as I learn to have a picture in my mind of where I want my life to go, and I keep taking steps forward, what could show up today that I don't see right now, but I'm going to trust, and I'm going to keep going and allow the people, the resources, the ideas, the vehicle, the partnerships to show up in my life, because I've cultivated, and I am cultivating, this ability to see beyond what I see and to keep stepping forward. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.